Yes, good morning all students. Good morning all. Yes. So how was your first test? Done 12 out of 12 from chemistry. How are you all? How was your first test? Yes, Abhiram. Nice. Venkat Tarun is asking, I have a doubt, sir. Why can't we measure the distance directly between nucleus and a valence shell? I told you now, Venkat, the valence shell will have electrons, but electrons are not just like a spot, are not just like a particle to measure the distance up to it. Electron will be spread to certain region. So that region, we do not know whether up to where we have to consider. So that is the limitation. Understood, Venkat Tarun? I don't know. Randomly, you people are messaging, and some are messaging half and half rare. Like Supreet, your doubt, you are messaging first half and then putting enter and then sending it and then another half. By that, between that two messages, some more messages are coming, so that we cannot. I cannot explain you the complete thing. Okay, na? So whatever your message is there, you message at once. Okay, na? And coming to, I will show you the test paper. Let me open the test paper. And if you are having any doubts, you can ask from the test paper. Every week, remember this point. This is the routine procedure. Sunday test will be there. Monday, the respective test paper will be discussed by the faculties. Okay, na? We will discuss our wait a second. If any typing mistakes are there, that we will consider. Don't worry. If any typing mistakes are there, that we will consider. That will correct it. Okay. Can you see the test paper? I think it is not showing in a. I will open it in the good notes itself. Yes. Now we can see it. Don't message to the host, Ray. I told you last time also. Last week also I told you, don't message to the host. Paper, Nana. This is a physics. So coming to chemistry, this is the chemistry paper. So let's see it. The chapter we have discussed, whichever the chapter we have discussed. Jaivir, don't message us the same thing again and again. What is this? Results. Huh? I have given this opportunity to chat with me to ask the doubts. If anything is there, material, test paper, results, your corrections, that all you can ask to the central help desk. Okay, na? See how many times you have asked. Is it a feeling a joke for you? Otherwise, I cannot give this option also. Everybody understand. If we can use the opportunity in a better manner, we will keep the chat open. Otherwise, we have to close the chat. 15 times you have messaged. Don't repeat it again. And message to the co-host, everybody. Okay. So now tell me, what are your doubts? First, 13th question. Which of the following element is more electropositive? Is more electropositive. This is a 10th. In 10th also you are having metals and non-metals you are having. Metals are the electropositive elements and metallic character down the group increases. So easily you can give the answer. Yes or no? Option D is the answer. How bromine can be electropositive, right? Fluorine. Who is this? Likith. Achha, this question you did not get in the exam. Oh, okay. I think one or two questions. Okay, I'm asking them the test paper they have conducted to you. Yes, yes. Might be this question is a different one. Okay. So 14th question is same, Ray, for you. Okay. So when a neutral atom is converted into anion, its size. Tell me, when neutral atom is converted into anion, what happens to its size? Size increases, na? Very good. Size increases. We have discussed it. It is there in your notes also, but still some of the students are giving a wrong answer. Which of the following, that is atomic structure and all you can discuss with the physical sir. What is atomic mass of the element that has a highest first? This question is also changed to you, yes or no? Yes, because for some of the students, ionization energy and electron affinity are not happened, na? That is why these questions are changed as they are out of syllabus. But I was sent the old test paper. Which of the following is not a periodic property? Electronegativity is a periodic property. Atomic volume is a periodic property. Ionization energy, ionization potential is also a periodic property. Radioactivity is not a periodic property. It is a very general question. It is a very general question. We can easily give the answer for this one. Radioactivity. And then what is the shape of an orbital? That's a atomic structure. That can be discussed later on. Maximum number of electrons present in a p subshell, that also atomic structure. Integer also are given of atomic structure. Okay. So from our track, very less number of questions came. Maybe because of these two change, we are able to see 3 or 4 questions only. Okay, na? So we will get back to our how would we give the answer for fill in the blanks? There is no fill in the blanks, na? Where is the filling the blanks, right? 23rd and 24th are numerical based questions, na? They are not filling the blanks. They are like suppose you say for which of the following species of Bohr theory will not be applicable. For a helium plus it is applicable. For a hydrogen also it is applicable. For lithium it is not applicable. For beryllium 4-2 it is not applicable. For deuterium applicable. 4-3 1 applicable. For lithium 3 plus not applicable. Tritium applicable. H2 also not applicable. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the answer. Integer type. You have to give the click the option. 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be given in the options, na? In the water sheet. So in that you have to click on 4. So that will be locked. Okay, na? Yes. See, some of you, one point you remember, one point you understand. This is the first test. The format is new to you. The objective type questions are new to you, except for some of the students who have went for preparation. And integer type questions are also new for you. Numerical based questions are also new for you. So don't be in a panic if you have done 1 or 2 mistakes. Okay, na? So this is a learning, like 1 or 2 tests will be like a learning, so that you can become comfortable for the upcoming tests. Okay. So you have to learn while giving the test. Also you have to learn how to give the answer. Got it? So go through the when you are going through the exam, so you observe the other things also. Sir, these are all atomic structure related questions. Just I am showing the example. Okay, na? 23rd, just I am giving the example how to write the numerical based questions. See, Bohr's model is applicable to single electron species, that we already know. It is applicable to single electron species. This is a single electron species, therefore applicable. This is also single electron species, applicable. This is a 3 electron species, that is why not applicable. From beryllium 4 electrons, if you remove 2 electrons, two electrons will be there. Therefore, for this also it is not applicable. Deuterium 1 electron, therefore applicable. Deuterium is a isotope of protium only, protium and tritium only. So for protium, deuterium and tritium isotopes, all will be having a 1 electron only. Therefore, it is applicable. For deuterium applicable. For beryllium 3+ also applicable, because beryllium atomic number is 4. Total 4 electrons are there, from which 1 electron you are removing. So sorry, from 4 electrons you are removing 3 electrons. So one only electron is left over here. 4 minus 3. This is 2 minus 1. 1. 3. 4 minus 2. 1. Then 3 minus 3. 1. 2. Now you can understand. Yes or no? Atomic number of deuterium will be same as that of Narasimha. Then also you are not able to find out how many times you are asking. Once you count it, Narasimha, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why you are asking again and again? You are saying 5. Huh? Narasimha, got it? These are the 4 for which it is not applicable. So you check it once. When I am saying you are asking that it is a 5, but I gave you the answer as a 4, you cross check it again. Once or twice you cross check it again. Okay, na? For physical chemistry, if you want answers, I will give you. Answers are given as for 15th question, sir. What is the mass number of element which has highest atomic radius in second period in modern periodic table? Does this question came, Syed? Mass number of an element which has highest atomic radius. Highest atomic radius in second period. Highest atomic radius in second period will be for neon, and then neon atomic mass is 20. Got it? Noble gases are bigger than alkali metals. Okay, so going to your answers, 15th question. This is all after attraction, repulsion, after all everything only. This is the final values. Fifteenth question, C is given as answer. 16th A, 17th B, 18th C. But 18th question is changed, so that is why I am not giving for that. 19th D already I have given. 20 is Planck's constant value. 20. 21 is D. 22 is C. 24 is 9. For this, you have to ask central help desk. That is what I am telling again and again. Okay, na? If anything you want, you have to ask. It should come from the help desk. Okay, na? Chalo. So going back to our class notes. Okay. So here we have discussed one thing. So coming to the next point, next concept. See, in the periodic properties, we have discussed first periodic property, effective nuclear charge. Second periodic property, atomic size. Third periodic property, let us discuss electronegativity. So I will briefly explain you what is electronegativity, electron affinity, and ionization energy or ionization potential. Okay, now briefly only we will consider it. So first, electronegativity. Electronegativity is the tendency of a bonded atom to attract the bonded pair or shared pair of electrons towards itself. So very simple, see, when there is a bond between atom A and atom B and bonded electrons are present, these are the bonded pair of every bond is associated with the 2 electrons. Everybody knows this one. So 2 electrons are present. So now these 2 electrons, atom A nucleus will try to attract these 2 electrons. Atom B nucleus also will try to attract the 2 electrons. But whichever atom is having higher effective nuclear charge, that atom will successfully drag the electron pair more towards itself. Suppose you see Z effective of B is greater than A. Let us assume Z effective of B is greater than A. A will drag the electrons, but B will drag the electrons much more stronger that the bonded pair of electrons will go more nearer to B, like this. Understanding? More nearer to B. That tendency to attract the bonded pair of electrons towards one of the bonded atoms is called electronegativity. It can be given as a En or denoted by, I will give it here, denoted by En or chi. Okay, like X like a symbol will be there. One will be shorter, one will be longer. And next point is, see, I am telling that electronegativity is the tendency to attract the bonded pair of electrons. If it is only the tendency, then there will be no units for it. No units for its measurement. Okay, na? Just comparatively values will be given. Yes, atom B is this much more stronger to attract the bonded electrons than atom A. Okay, but it cannot be given in so and so units. Okay, it is only tendency, therefore no units. Then electronegativity is directly proportional to Z effective. That already I have given here. This point, based on this point, you might have understood. The more the Z effective, the more is the electronegativity. Yes or no? Then size. What happens to electronegativity with the size? Tell me. If size of the atom go on increases, suppose here this is atom A, or I will show it here itself. Atom A, B. What I am telling, B has more tendency to drag the electron pair towards itself than A. And let us assume atom B size is like this. Then let us take another example. Atom A and atom C. Atom C size is this much. If size increases, the bonded pair, the distance between the bonded pair of electrons, these are the bonded pair of electrons. The distance between the bonded pair of electrons and the center of nucleus will be increasing. This is the distance here, whereas here distance is lesser. If nucleus is nearer to the bonded pair of electrons, attraction will be more. And if nucleus is far from the bonded pair of electrons, attraction will be lesser. Understanding the point? Therefore, size is inversely proportional to electronegativity. Got it? Size is inversely proportional to electronegativity, or you can say electronegativity decreases with the increase in size. This is a size factor. Got it? Copy this page, everyone. Based on the hand raised, I will go. If there is no hand raised, I'll go to the next page. I will understand that you have copied it. The test paper. Completed, everyone? It is a tendency, electronegativity is the tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Very simple. See, some students are asking for the class notes, previous class notes also. My only concern is, if I start giving the notes, you people may stop writing the notes in the class. You have to write the notes by yourself. Understanding? So you should put that effort to write your notes, so that while writing you will understand, yes, what is the concept. But 3 people have raised their hand, but Abhilash, Yash, and Ritish. Do it fast. Yash and Abhilash. And last class notes I have already posted in the group, in the WhatsApp groups, in both the WhatsApp groups. Again, one child is, I think Charan is asking the point. Abhilash, are you there? I don't think you are there. Otherwise, it will not take this much time to copy. So this is about with the size factor. Then next one is electronegativity and one second. Wait a second. It is a point to discuss, and then we will get back to the writing of the point. Suppose if I am having A3 plus, A2 plus, A plus, A, or let us leave about A. Now tell you, now can you identify which one will have higher electronegativity? All are of same element only, na? All are A only, A element only, but they are having different positive charge. What is the Z effective for them? What is the Z effective for them? As the number of electrons are lesser, or as the positive charge increases, Z effective increases? Yes or no? So positive charge is more, so Z effective will be more for A3 plus, then A2 plus, then A plus. If this is the Z effective order, then Z effective is directly proportional to electronegativity. Then electronegativity order will also be in the similar manner, similar order. A3 plus greater than A2 plus greater than A plus. So this is the point here. Charge of cations of same element. Charge of cation of same element. Got it? Electronegativity is directly proportional to charge of cation. What about charge of anion? Anions of same element. Bolo. Suppose if I am having anions like A3 minus, A2 minus, A minus, then what is the Z effective value, Nana? What is the Z effective order? As the negative charge increases, Z effective decreases. We have discussed in the last class. Every day you have to revise your notes. Yes or no? If Z effective decreases, then what happens to electronegativity? Electronegativity increases. So A3 minus is better than, sorry, more directly proportional to charge, na? Z effective is directly proportional to electronegativity. So Z effective is higher for this one. So electronegativity also will be higher for this one. A minus, A2 minus, A3 minus, A minus, A2 minus, A3 minus. So here also electronegativity is inversely proportional to charge of anion. Charge of anion. Got it? Then periodicity. We should know the periodicity, na? Periodicity. Periodicity from left to right. What is happening to Z effective is increasing. If Z effective increases, electronegativity also increases. From left to right, electronegativity increases. Then, see, this is a L and R is left to right in a period, or I will write in a period, not to get confused. Then, in a group, from top to bottom. T and B means top to bottom. What is happening? Size is increasing, and size is inversely proportional to electronegativity. So as size is increasing, electronegativity decreases. And one more point you have to remember, understand is noble gases have very low electronegativity values. Why? Because noble gases are already stabilized. They will not show any interest to accept the electron pairs. Okay, na? Copy this page. And electronegativity related, if you are having any doubt, you can ask. And one more point, 1 second. Okay, applications will become difficult at this level. Okay, we'll stop electronegativity here. I'll give the opportunity to ask your doubts after explaining ionization energy. Okay, na? Everybody completed this page? Anybody still writing? Okay. Completed? Manan, Abhilash, Ritesh, Sai Teja, Siddharth, Balaji. Very good. The next ionization energy. See, all these factors, all these properties I am discussing in brief only. Okay. In detail, again, it will be discussed. So much concept is there. Okay, to the JEE advanced level. So that I will explain you once we go to the main program. Okay. So don't feel like if you see any of the reference books or the CBC book given to you, don't feel like sir has not explained this point, that point, like that. Just listen to what I am explaining and try to understand all the points what I am giving now. The rest of the points definitely I will explain you in the main course. Okay, don't worry for anything. Everything I will give you by the end of 2 years. Complete knowledge what I am having, that will be given to you. Ionization energy. This is also sometimes called ionization potential. Okay, so ionization energy, it is the minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from an isolated gaseous atom. That means you take an atom. From this atom, this is a nucleus. Let us assume this is a nucleus. There is a first shell, second shell, something like that is there. Or let us assume sodium only. Okay, na? First shell, second shell, third shell. So in the third shell, there is an electron. So you want to remove this electron out. You want to remove this electron out. But this electron is in attraction with the nucleus. Yes or no? This electron is in attraction with the nucleus. You have to spend energy and break this nuclear attraction and pull out this electron out. So to break this attraction between the nucleus and electron, you need to spend energy. That is the amount of energy. We are calling it as ionization energy. Energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom. Isolated gaseous atom means an individual atom from a separate atom. That is ionization energy. Okay, na? Now, if we are removing an electron from atom M, so it forms a cation M+. The energy required to remove this electron will be called as a ionization energy 1. Because it is the energy required to remove the first electron from the neutral atom. First electron removal is requiring this much energy. Then for the removal of a second electron from M+, removal of second electron to form M2+, the amount of energy required is IE2. The removal of electron from the M2+, the third electron to form M3+, is what is called as IE3. IE3. Understanding the point? IE3. And here from M+ to M2+ or M3+. Can you assume, can you think the removal of electron from M+ is easier or M2+? Sorry, I should not take, I need not take M3+. I need to take M, because you are removing electrons from this species only. That is why I have to take this species only. So removal of electron from M is easier, or M+ is easier, or M2+ is easier. The removal of electron from any of these species depends upon how much is the strength of attraction from the nucleus. Nothing but Z effective. Yes or no? So let us put that Z effective for this one. We know Z effective increases with increase in the positive charge of cation. As positive charge increases, Z effective increases. If Z effective increases, what happens to ionization energy there? Ionization energy also increases, because of more strongly if the electron is held by the nucleus, more and more energy has to be spent to break the very strong attraction between the nucleus and electron. Therefore, ionization energy will go on increases. Therefore, that means what you can say is, therefore, IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3. Understanding? Or you can say in another point or another way also, therefore, the successive ionization energies go on increases. The successive ionization energies go on increases. That means IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3 less than IE4 less than IE5 less than IE6 less than, like that. It will go on increases. Ionization energies, successive ionization energies go on increases. Understanding? Copy this page, everybody. Very interesting concept. Energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom. Completed, everyone? Do it fast. We need to discuss periodicity also for the ionization energy. Completed. Manan, Sai Teja, Abhilash. Author. Do it fast. Are you there, Sai Teja and Abhilash? I think Abhilash is not there, na? Okay. Okay, so now important points here. Ionization energy is directly proportional to Z effective. As Z effective increases, ionization energy increases. Then second point, size. What happens to ionization energy with increase in size? You tell me what happens with ionization energy with increase in size. Suppose if this is the nucleus array, this electron you are removing, or these many orbitals also not needed. Orbits are also not needed. Let us assume like you are removing electron from this one, and in the another one you're removing electron from this one. You tell me removal of electron from this atom, first atom, will be easier, or removal of electron from the second atom? Definitely it is the removal of electron from the first atom will be easier, because the distance between the nucleus and electron is more, then attraction will be lesser. Whereas here distance between the nucleus and electron is lesser, therefore attraction is more. If more is the attraction, more is the energy required to break such attractions, therefore more energy will be needed to remove the electron here. More energy is needed to remove the electron here, yes or no? Whereas here little energy is sufficient. So by that you can say that ionization energy is inversely proportional to size. As size increases, the distance between the electron to be removed and the nucleus increases, therefore it becomes easier to remove the electron. Got it? Then third point, half filled and fully filled electronic configurations are stable, that removal of electron needs more ionization energy. So this point also we have to understand. Okay, na? Then last point, ionization energy of different orbitals. Ionization energy for different orbitals for a given orbit is S greater than P greater than D greater than F. This also I will tell you. See, suppose you take an atom. In brief, I am telling. Okay, na? There is a shell. First shell, second shell, third shell, like fourth shell is there. Let us assume. In this fourth shell, 4s is there, 4p is there, 4d is there, 4f is also there. Now the electron present in 4s will be more tending towards the nucleus, whereas the electron present in a more tending towards the nucleus, whereas the electron present in the p orbital will be little tending towards the nucleus, and lesser here and very less here. So the stronger the electron is tending means going nearer to the nucleus, the difficult it is to remove the electron. Understanding the point? Nucleus will attract s orbital electrons more strongly than p orbital electrons, than d, than f orbital electrons. So if nucleus is more strongly attracting the s orbital electron, obviously more energy will be required to remove such electron. Understanding the point or not? So these are the factors. Then coming to periodicity, already you have understood how the periodicity, how with the size and z effective it will be. So periodicity, you can write by your own. Along a period from left to right, Z effective increases. So ionization energy also increases along a group from top to bottom. Size increases, therefore ionization energy decreases. That means it is same as that of electronegativity. Electronegativity also from left to right increasing, top to bottom decreases. Ionization energy also from left to right increasing, top to bottom decreasing. Got it? Copy this page and others can ask meantime if you want to ask any doubt. Sorry, today we are having the doubt session, na? So in that doubt session you can clarify your doubts. Don't miss the DDF for today afternoon. Those who have copied can leave. And get prepared for the next lecture. Acha, Abhilash responded now. For those students who have messaged, I told you to go through your 10th standard textbook and also the NCERT textbook. Already, I hope everybody have bought the NCERT textbook. So start reading it also. You will get habituated to it. Slowly also, if you read it, no problem. Okay. So read little portion every day, but don't get worried. Chalo. So I am closing it here as there are no hand raised. I hope everybody have copied the notes. We'll meet afternoon.